Dude. What up? It's Altitude After Dark. It's your boy DMac with Mike Sanford. The mystical man that wanders outside of his house with ruminations about football games. Over the weekend, I saw you, Coach. What do you got there with the sweater? You wearing a sweater?
Hey, man. Hey, you never know
whoa.
how many days. You never know how many days you're going to be able to wear this thing with pride, and today is one of those days, D-Mac.
Oh my God! Look at Vic's going. Vic's going. I'm very rare that I go with the white. Very rare.
No, I don't do white wine. That's sacrilege in my opinion.
Well, we got a little fish going tonight. You know what I'm saying?
We just don't do white wine. Is just like, dude, that's like diet water. Why would you ever drink diet water?
No, it's really not my thing. But just a tad. What are you drinking there, Mike?
Yeah, I'm just I'm partaking in my own personal vice of choice, and that is
the Zin
right there.
God, thank God I'm not into that shit. That looks terrible.
Oh, it's fantastic.
It's not.
It's do you know how many lives Zin has saved in this world? Do you know how many people that have been addicted to chewing tobacco that have gone to Zin that have changed their lives?
Is that right?
Yeah.
I am all for that. All for that.
I was a 15, 20-year dipper, and I quit, and then I quit quitting, and then I quit again, and then I quit quitting again, and then finally I found this fluffy white pillow, and it saved my life.
All right, so Zin. All right, well, good for Zin then, man. That's good. I like it. I know a little white. That's terrible. You're right about that. I can't really defend.
I would analogize that the arrival of Zin in our universe is very akin to the arrival of Bo Nix Game 3 of the NFL season.
Yeah.
You like what you're saying?
Yeah, Bo. Let's hear from a little bit of Bo Nix.
We did really well on first and second down. We finished drives. We kind of made drives go longer with third down conversions. And then when we got to the red zone, we finally scored touchdowns today. Now, still, we missed a few opportunities with touchdowns, but we traded in for 3 points. We did a better job of protecting the ball today, and it's just a great team win. I mean, this is us. We came out here, we competed really hard, we played physical, we played 4 quarters, and we ran around and competed. So I'm proud of this team. I love these guys, and it's just a great first win.
In all honesty, guys, I've always thought we got to play 48 minutes basketball, 60 minutes hockey, 6 minutes football, 9, blah, blah, blah. I thought it was all bullshit, really, frankly. Because what you really need to do is play really well for a period of time, and then, whatever. I swear to God, I think the Broncos played 60 minutes of football. I really do believe that.
That was their most complete victory, especially on the road. I would say road victory for sure, since November of 2021, when Vic Fangio's Broncos went to Dallas and put it on the Cowboys. That is their last victory that the Broncos have produced from start to finish that was as complete as today's.
That's a great memory, Vic. I was trying to think the last one, and they were heavy underdogs in that game too. And they whooped up on Dallas.
Yeah,
great
in every facet, offensively and defensively. And I thought the Broncos today, Coach, I want to get your thoughts on this. I thought this was the first time this season that Coach Payton gave Bo Nix a little love in, we saw some RPOs. We saw a little more of Bo Nix that we remember seeing at Oregon. The offense bent a little bit to his favor.
I agree. And I think the biggest storyline of this game, something that I was begging for, at least in my own tiny space, was if a team's going to play press man coverage and overpopulate the box and play single high, basically play what Mel Kiper wants you to play defensively for the rest of NFL into eternity, then you have to throw the ball over their heads. Yeah. Al Davis used to call it, hey, they got this wall. We got to throw it over that wall. And that's what the Broncos did. They started out doing it, and then they did it twice in the first 3 plays. And you know what that did? It backed those dudes off. And then all of a sudden, you can start doing your dink and dunk game. You can start running the football a little bit. It was beautiful. And credit to Sean Payton for integrating tempo. That's where Bo had operated well. Like it wasn't stuck in the huddle until 12 seconds, 10 seconds, 7 seconds. Oh gosh, we're gonna have to call a timeout. It was fast. It felt snappy. It was just a great performance. All coaching and playing.
the first play of the game, the back shoulder to Sutton,
Portland.
and I'm like, okay, all right, we got something here. They're throwing the ball downfield. And you guys tell me, Bo Nix proved one thing to me, and I wanted to see it coming into the season. I said, could he throw it downfield in some tight spots? Could he deliver a 20-yard ball in tight spots? And he did it several times today. I was duly impressed.
25 of 36 for 216. 6 per, not bad. Managed things great. Quarterback rating of 85. It wasn't anything spectacular, but it was so efficient. And yeah, Sean Payton, he's quick to defend his boy Bo. He's got his back.
No, stop. It's fitting your.
Great.
How many no's was that one? That's more than I think the previous record.
No. Stop. No. I mean, I might have 9 no's.
Are we in a double-digit space here? This is all new territory.
Damn close. I mean, and here it was Mike Kliss saying, the narrative like Bo's better, he lost his confidence, whatever. And Sean's quick to defend his boy.
No, stop. It's fitting your narrative. It's not. Kid's been confident. This kid's been through Auburn. He's transferred. He's won. And honestly, I haven't seen him flinch. We all get a little bit more confident with a win, but I say that respectfully. He hadn't flinched, and I think that we had a good plan. The players did a good job, and then certainly he had more fun than he did in prior weeks.
Listen, I know you used the word respectfully, but let me quibble a little bit with Coach Payton. It's obvious that he played with a little more swagger today, a little more confidence today, because the offense moved today. So I don't understand what the big deal is about that question. The question is pretty simple. Did he look more confident? And the resounding answer is yes, he looked more confident. So I'm not sure why he was so uptight about the question. I thought it was a pretty softball question.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you guys saw the tweet from Barstool Sports. It was a highlight of Bo Nix's day throwing, the 2 big ball, downfield throws in the first drive and him taking off, and running the first touchdown in. And the quote it's an interesting tweet, but the quote is, Bo Nix, this is the year. This is the year that the Broncos are back. Bo Nix, this is the year we've all been waiting for. So I dug into this. I'm like, what does this mean? That was a bit at Auburn. Is that it was always the year, and it became the inside joke that like there was a performance where Bo Nix would have a tremendous game, and then the Auburn fan base, which we all know is absolutely bananas, out of their minds, would realize that it's the reality check. Bo Nix is going to become Bo Nix at some point. That's the bit from Auburn. So I don't want to be a rainer on the parade, and I'm not, because this was a tremendous performance, even better than Bo Nix, even better than this offense. Is something that I believe is absolutely real. There's no questioning that defensive front, man. I loved them in training camp. I think they have really good rotational pieces. That defensive front, guys, was dominant today.
Coach, the defense always looks better too when you have a lead and you can pin your ears back and do what that 2015 Broncos defense did. You give them a lead, you get after the quarterback, 7 sacks, tells the story. I mean, this is what we saw. But we saw it early, even after the 7-0 lead early. Baker Mayfield looked confused out there. He didn't know where to go with the ball. And I think it's a credit to that front. And Vance Joseph's defense strategy, I thought, was perfect.
Amen.
Yeah. They've been aggressive top to bottom. Bo Nix on that.
Get court involved early. You win a one-on-one. You flip the field in one play. It opens it up for a coordinator. And Coach Payton did a good job of going right back to it. We hit Josh on the other side, and then we get points, and we get a touchdown on that first drive. That's really important to start explosive. But, you can't just hit one. You got to come back and continue to finish out drives, and it was good to see that, on the first one.
I don't like getting the ball first. I love it. I've always loved it. That whole, score, we're going to score again and get the ball. I've always hated that shit. I've always liked the concept of playing with the lead. I always think playing with the lead is more powerful than some sort of magical potion thing around the half.
Unless you go 3 and out. And that's been amazing.
Oh, okay, but you got to give yourself a shot, though.
Okay, I get it.
Fine, but give yourself a chance to succeed.
You know what else I love? Going for it on 4th and short. And they did it a couple times. And they did it in the first half. And they showed, hey, we're not going to jack around. What do we have to lose here? Midfield with that little RPO action when Bo just sort of tucked himself behind the left guard. Love it. Love every part of that because that play is right there to be had. How many years in 4th down, 3rd down situations did we see the Broncos just turn around, hand it to a running back? Let the quarterback go get that. Tom Brady did it for years.
It was kind of like a fake tush push. Like everything was, and Bo just, and if you've really noticed the NFL, this is a huge trend that I think will stay between the 40s. 4th and 2 or shorter, every team goes for it between the 40s. Everybody does.
That's the analytics, the impact of the game. I was watching Baylor in the game yesterday.
We'll get there, Mike. I know you're excited. We'll get there.
I'm not talking about that, but BYU and Baylor are two teams that are hell bent on the analytics and go for it in times of the game. You're like, why are they going for it on 4th and 6 from the minus 38? The analytics book says so. And the NFL is starting to fully subscribe to those analytics. And I like the decision going back to the whole take the ball first. Yeah. I like when you take the ball first and all 3 phases have the mentality of we are going to do everything in our power by the way we call the game on offense, by the pressure package we have on defense, and by how we perform in the kicking game, whether it be to go after punts, whatever it may be. I like when it's all matched up. And then typically you have success taking the ball first. And Sean Payton, masterful job of getting all 3 phases on the same page and saying, we're going to go and we're going to get this lead. We're going to get it early. We're going to hold on to it.
Complementary football, right? That's what you want. And they got it today. The offense got the lead and the defense held the lead. End of story.
Cortland Sutton on Bo Nix.
Encouraging, but he's only going to continue to get better. The more he sees defense, the more he gets reps, the more he gets to be able to go out there and see the full speed game reps. He's only going to continue to get better. And I think we got to see a really good glimpse of the potential of where he can take this offense and where we can go as an offense and with him at the helm. And
I agree, man. Listen, I look at Brock Purdy. I'm like, why can't Bo Nix be Brock Purdy? And I think he can be Brock Purdy, better than Brock Purdy, frankly. But and you mix in a couple runs, which they did, which I think is smart. That is such an effective tool. 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, something like that. Just got a dude who can just go off tackle a little bit, run a little bit. Keep it going. This game was planned well, was executed well. Yep. The only thing, guys, I'm really not sure why Javonte Williams is on this team, Vic.
I was going to bring that up because I thought Javonte, he's averaging less than 2 yards a carry. We're in game 3 right now. And he is, I don't know what the problem is. I don't know if it's a situation of circumstance where he's not getting the holes that other guys are finding. We found out to pronounce the other running back's name. We've mispronounced it the entire time. He's named after a toiletry item, bidet. I had no idea. We'll get to that in a bit. But the fact that Javonte Williams is struggling as such, he just doesn't have explosiveness like he did his rookie year. I don't see that same take 2 or 3 carriers with you down the field. I don't see it.
Agreed. I've said that Tyler Bidet has been the running back since last week when he got
wait a second. Time the fuck out. Wait. Is that on the pronunciation sheet?
No. The pronunciation sheet provided by the Denver Broncos is Beatty, Tyler Beatty. But apparently ahead of the broadcast, the PR team from the Broncos announced to the broadcast team that there's been a shift in name to Bidet.
Let me just stop this. Let me stop this silliness. I'm not sure if Tyler himself understands what that is at this point, but we're not going with bidet. We're going to change that up right now. My
You
parents,
think he knows what a bidet is?
that's what I'm asking. I mean, does he know does he know that he's right now the pronunciation of his name is named after something that cleans your ass? I mean, does he know this?
I mean,
Does he know this?
it is a life-changing, first experience. I definitely can speak,
I'm
from
not
experience.
against it, but you don't want your name to be about it.
Especially when it's spelled so far from bidet. Like
It's not even close.
Not even close.
It's fatty or
It's not even close to bidet. And I don't know what kind of experience you guys have with bidets, but again, it's
really,
a big
really positive ones. Very
well,
positive.
it's a European thing, right? And so my
And
parents,
Japanese too. Yeah.
okay, my parents installed bidets in their they still have one.
Why?
And my entire life growing up, I used to they have the nice shower in their room, so I used to use the shower. And on nights that I didn't want to shower because I was lazy, I'd wash my hair in their bidet because I didn't know what the hell it was. I just knew that there was a nice water log there. It just came out nice.
Does it bother you your dad's ass was up in that?
I don't think they used it as such. I don't think so. I've never asked my dad if he washed his undercarriage in there, but I don't think they ever used it for that. I think they washed their feet. I think it's a foot washer.
Oh, wait. What?
Yes.
They put their okay. All right. Well, we'll get to the bottom of it one way or the other, but
My dad, I'll ask my dad next time I see him.
okay.
Did you or did you not wash your ass in that little thing next to your toilet? I'll ask him.
Okay. This is altitude after dark.
Here we are.
Javonte Williams. I'm sorry, guys. Listen, man. I think I did ask at least one smart question of Sean Payton the whole training camp. And I said, is it about performance or potential? Right? And I think that was a good question because look at the guys who are performing really well and look at the guys who I guess made the team based on potential. And I think Javonte Williams is one of those potential sort of guys because he did not have a good camp. Okay. He didn't. And I think it's significant that Tyler, what do you want me to do here? Bidet.
We're going Batty.
Thank you.
So a year ago, he was asked for the pronunciation. It's on film. You can find it on YouTube. 1 year ago, at the end of last season, when he had his breakout day, it was Tyler Beatty. That's what he said.
Beatty. Okay.
Beatty.
Yeah, Beatty.
Good. I like it. Beatty.
And then it changed in the last 7 days, somehow, some way.
All right, we're going to stick with Beatty because the rest of it is embarrassing. But
Yeah.
he jumped over Blake Watson. Okay? I get it. Audric Estimé, Notre Dame, awesome. Out. He'll be back eventually. But my bigger question is just about Javonte. That fumble at 17-0 when they are driving and all you have to do is wrap up the ball. That was brutal, guys. Coach, that was brutal.
It could have been a major momentum changer because that puts you up at least a field goal 20-0, maybe 24-0.
Game's over.
They come right back and they just shove it down the Broncos' throats and cut it to 17-7. And you're thinking, here we go again. So no, you can't have those momentum changing turnovers, and that was a bad one.
All right, here's Jalil McLaughlin after the
It was
game.
like I said. I mean, I know I was going to probably be in a one-on-one situation, and I said I got to win this no matter what. That's a defensive end. But he's a great player as well. No disrespect to him, but I got to win in those situations to help this team win. So that's what
I just got to say thanks to our guy Andrew Mason over there at DNVR Sports or whatever they are, Denver Sports. They fired me, and then Zach at DNVR because I got a couple of quotes there. Because Coach wanted him. Coach wanted him. I had other ways, but Coach wanted him. So why did you want that from Jalil there, Coach?
I just think that was the play of the day. I really do. It was a 4th down play. He was dead in his tracks. It wasn't a play call.
Terrible call.
Right.
Terrible call.
If you get Tampa to completely suck in on the fullback belly and then that you end up getting the toss in space, what I loved about it is that this team, we've talked about this team being devoid of anybody making a play that's not just drawn up on the chalkboard. That was a play. And he actually got a Tampa Bay Buccaneer defender into a 4-point stance because he did him so dirty. It was freaking awesome.
But you know what, Coach? I know he broke his ankle, and I know we all love the play, but it was moot, and I thought it was karma because it should have never gotten to that. Javonte had his entire torso in the end zone.
Totally agree.
That's the
Totally
dumbest thing.
agree.
And I know the replay didn't have a look at it, and so the call on the field stands when you can't get a look. But we all know that Javonte, I mean, when the guy's head, shoulders, and chest is in the end zone, what do you think? He's got his ball on his feet? Is he carrying the ball with his feet? It's in his chest.
I agree with you. I agree with you. But that being said, Javonte, get in there, brother. Get in there. I mean, leave no stone unturned. And there's something missing with Javonte Williams. I don't know what it is, but leave no doubt about it. The play by Jalil, I thought it was a terrible call. Frankly, you know what? If that was Javonte, let's be honest, that's a 4-yard loss.
Oh,
it is.
100%.
Okay?
There's no debating.
I think I know what's going on with Javonte. I have my own ideas. Do you remember when last year Coach Payton praised Javonte Williams for coming into camp thinner, that he lost some weight?
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think he plays at that weight like he did at the previous size he played at. He's a steamroller guy. He wants to take on tacklers and run them over. He is 15, 20 pounds lighter than what he was when
he looks like a different person.
100%. I don't think that he's used to playing at that size, coach. And when you change a person's size, you change a person's entire ability to play the game. I just don't think he's the same player because he's lighter.
Yeah, but you have to look at your film is your resume. And right now, unfortunately for Javonte, the injury was the injury. A lot of players deal with it. The running back position is brutal. We all know it. But dude, he's got 2 years of film now that's just not good film. Last year's film was at heavier weight. It wasn't great either. And now you're 3 games into the season and you have players that nobody knew who they were before the season. Tyler Batty is not on anybody's fantasy football league team. You know, Jalil McLaughlin's not going to be there. I mean, Javonte Williams was a relatively high draft pick, and he's just not delivering the goods, guys. Like, it's pretty simple. It's your film is your resume. And I watched the all 22 film, and Javonte's tape is worse on the all 22 than it is when you're watching the TV copy.
All right, listen, I don't want to crap on an outstanding day by the Broncos, but there were 2 blemishes to me. That and PJ Locke 2 games in a row, like losing is cool. You got to, dude, come on now, PJ. You know, you're a good player. You're a solid player. We don't need that crap. Aside from that, guys, I feel a little nitpicky, okay? Because the effort from the Broncos was one of the most complete performances I've ever seen. I mean, let's not snooze on that. And you saw we were looking for improvement. Okay. We'll start with you, Vic. Why do you think we saw so much improvement between weeks 1 and 2, where there was virtually nothing, and then what we saw today?
Because I think the coaching staff understood what opposing defenses are going to start doing, and Coach Sanford laid it out perfectly. They're built to stop the run. Opposing defenses are going to go into the Broncos game and say, we're not going to let you beat us on the ground. So the Broncos in this game, rather than trying to start the game with a hitch pass, or start the game with a quick out. Screw that. Back shoulder. Cortland Sutton. Let's go downfield. Let's do things that the opposing defense is allowing you to do. And Bo Nix got those plays done. I think it was a coaching decision more than anything.
I think this. Do you know what Sean Payton's career record head-to-head with defensive mind Todd Bowles is?
Pretty good.
8-0.
Yeah, pretty good.
He owns him. Now, I will say, I think that Todd Bowles and Sean Payton both come from the old school of the National Football League. Sean Payton knows Todd Bowles really well. There is a new school of the National Football League, and we've seen it. You're going to see it in New York with the defense of Robert Saleh. That's not the old school. This is going to be a horse of a different color when you're playing this game from the standpoint of how you attack the Jets. So if you just think, oh, we're just going to keep the momentum, oh, it's just going to carry over, that's bullshit, man. That's not how the world of football works. It's not like, oh, it feels good this Sunday, it's going to feel good automatically next Sunday. Matchups, coaching styles, schemes, they do change week to week. And I think this was a great matchup. I didn't do my research ahead of time. I found that out mid-game about the 7-0 record for Sean Payton against Todd Bowles. But it came to fruition. And you can even tell in the press conferences leading up to the game, Todd Bowles almost like was intimidated by Sean Payton because he's gotten just destroyed by the guy. And then I think Sean Payton felt pretty dang good, pretty snappy going to this game about how to attack a Todd Bowles defense. And boy, was he right.
You know what's awesome about being 6'2", completely yoked and making $24 million a year? You look awesome in a tank top with glasses.
Yeah, we knew we just want to create turnovers, generate turnovers. That's a big thing in this league for sure. Creating chances for your offense, and offense did their thing, and when we was out on the field, we did our thing. So collectively as a team, we was in unison, and I think we really collectively was really making plays on both sides of the ball, and that's the result of the game. Once we on sync and everybody's on cue, and we do our thing like how we was prepping during the week, everything seems to come in fruition for us.
You talked about your mindset.
Okay, guys, the question is this really the team or is this some sort of mirage?
We're going to have to wait and see, right? Or we'll find out next week when they're staying in West Virginia at the Greenbrier, and they'll take on the Jets. I'm wait and see, and I'll be wait and see. I'm never going to speculate week to week, but I saw something today, and it was something I was waiting for. And I've told you guys this. I said it last week after the loss to Pittsburgh. I said, I still haven't seen that game out of Bo Nix that makes me go, okay, we've got something. Well, today I saw it. I saw that glimpse. I saw it enough. I saw it on the opening drive. I saw it on that 7-minute drive in the second half. I saw it at the end of the first half on that 2-minute drill. I saw it today. I saw the future, and Bo Nix is in it for the Denver Broncos. That's what I saw.
Love it, Vic. Mike?
I think in the NFL, man, you're evaluated week to week, right? And every week is a new week. And this was a great week. It was a great week for Bo Nix. You got to tip the cap to Bo. You got to tip the cap to Sean Payton. The two of them were absolutely spectacular today. But it's going to be a new week next week, and we'll evaluate that week. I'm just not in the business, because I've lived this life as a coach, of saying that you're completely washed and you can't do it, at the quarterback position, like we said a week ago, right? I'm talking about the general the fan base, the population, and then all of a sudden we're fully there now. But to your point, Vic, Bo Nix did some things today that gave what I think is the most important word for this Broncos season to the fan base, to the franchise, and that word is hope. And that came across very clear.
And I will add one more thing. And I know we've got a long season ahead of us. There's a lot more to go. But the two losses the Broncos have endured, both one-score losses, mind you, were to teams that are now undefeated.
3-0, 6-0, 6-0.
And the Seahawks are undefeated. So it's not like they lost to also-rans, okay? They didn't lose to any Barbizon community colleges. The teams they lost to have won all three games. So I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that we're seeing something that they can carry into next week. Will they beat the Jets? Hell if I know. But my God, if you cannot be enthused about what you saw today, you have no pulse.
Right.
Down the street from Amelia Arena is Ydor City in Tampa, something like that. And it's known for its hand-wrapped cigars. The last time I was in Tampa, I was watching the Stanley Cup go up an escalator. That was pretty fucking cool. But earlier in that day, I went down to Ydor City, which I was told, don't go after dark to this place. But during the day, it's pretty touristy, and I had a great Cuban panini sandwich and a classic restaurant, and I must have seen at least 20 cigar shops in this particular cool area of Tampa. I'm going to guess every single one of those cigars was used to create the fog machine in the Broncos locker room after the game.
That adversity, all the things that happen out here in the football field are going to happen to us the rest of our lives. And the best thing about this game is you have to learn grit or you don't survive. And grit is that fortitude that says, today I got to win. I got to get up and come back to work. I got to get up and get back with my family. I got to get up. You know what? I never stop getting up.
First of all, I wish I had a six-pack like Josh Reynolds. I think that was him in the background. My God. Second of all, what the fuck with the fog? What is going on? What is happening in the Broncos locker room after the game?
Third of all, in the words of Coach Payton, I never stopped getting up either. I got medicine for that. It's a good thing.
And if you don't, let me recommend the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic. They work where the herbals and pills fail. That being said, I was told, now listen, man, I don't know what the deal is, but I was told it's a $40,000 sound and light machine with fog that Peyton brought with him from the Saints to celebrate the wins. I'm going to play it again. Look, there's a slight light show on an offensive lineman. I'm just going to play the first 5 seconds.
That adversity, all the things that happen out here in the football field are going to happen.
Can you see Ben Powers actually has a little bit of a weird glow going on there? What do you guys think of the fog machine party atmosphere and the smoke in the Broncos locker room after a win?
Whatever it takes.
A lot more, man. Exactly. Just bring it out. Think about traveling with this $25,000 machine and not using it.
40,000. Right. Like, who's in charge of this shit? Who's
You got a DJ that's supposed to come in. Oh, sorry, we can't use you. We lost. I mean, it's great, man. Hey, there's nothing, Coach. I'll ask you because you've been part of these. There is nothing better in sports than a winning locker room.
It's the best.
Nothing. There's nothing better because you just worked your ass off for 3 hours, 2 hours, whatever the sport, and you get to enjoy the fruits of your labor. And when you win a game in the NFL, a road game that nobody expects you to win, I don't give a shit what you do. You can do whatever the hell you want. So enjoy that win. Do what you want. Bring in every fog machine on the East Coast. Take it on. Bring it to New York with you. If you use it next week, I'll be really impressed.
Yeah, I love me a post-game win. I only had one of them in 2022, and that's why I'm on with you two guys right now. And it was one hell of a post-game locker room at Folsom Field in that one glorious afternoon. So it's tremendous. It's something that, if you play for a program or coach for a program, even my college team, like we were 53-9 in my 5 seasons at Boise State. Like if you ever take a win for granted, you are missing the ball so badly because it is so hard to win football games, period. And you always think about it like half of the Division I college football programs this week lost, right? I know it's obvious math, but it's hard to win and you can never take it for granted. Broncos lean all the way into this celebration, have fun at the Greenbrier, take all of the different, knitting and braiding, all the different classes and activities together that the Greenbrier does offer. Because I really do believe that if you're a person that right now that needs some relational help, if you feel a little bit like you've lost some motivation, your confidence is shaken, you need to go book yourself a trip to the Greenbrier. And that's exactly what the Denver Broncos did. And they had their relationships restored because of the Greenbrier.
They're not going to the Greenbrier tonight, though. They're staying in Tampa tonight.
Ybor City, baby.
Ybor City, man. You got to, I was told not to be there after 10 p.m., but I don't know what's going on there.
Hey, hold on a second. Because I've heard your shtick before. Are you saying that they shouldn't party, that they should go to bed by curfew?
No, the Broncos tonight? They should set the town on fire.
Yeah,
are you
do whatever the hell you want. I agree.
Have a no. Have not a good time, a great time.
Right.
Whatever that means. It's harder than the Stanley Cup. I was up an escalator there. 3. But whatever you want to do amongst legal limits, go for it. It's a fun place to be. That being said, you brought up college football. So check this out, fellas. It's hard to do play-by-play or video if you don't record it yourself. But we got that bad boy. We don't have any restrictions. That's why I'm playing that. And we'll have Travis Hunter's playing in a second. But talk me through what we saw Saturday night.
Coach, I'll let you go second because you're more thorough on this. I saw your post game last night, and it was perfect. It was Well, you're gonna wax on Shedeur Sanders, and you have every right to. But I'm going to tell you how I watched that game. I'm hosting an American Cancer Society fundraiser last night in Greeley, and I'm in the backstage, and I'm introducing speakers, and we're doing auctioneering and all that stuff, and I'm watching it on my phone, play by play, and I got to watch that last play. I was during a portion of the show where I could sit back there and watch it. And I'm looking at this and I couldn't believe my eyes because we all thought the game was over, right?
Of course.
And here it happens. And it happens, 20 years to the day, no, 30 years to the day of the Michigan Miracle.
Yeah.
And for that to unfold, I don't care what anybody says. All right, oh, Baylor's not that great. I don't care. Oh, what's the big deal? They haven't beaten anybody. I don't care. I don't care what you say, because to beat anybody, to beat any team the way they did, to never quit, to never die, to show some poise at the end of a game, to say we're not done yet. Kudos to the Buffs and Shedeur Sanders for walking that walk after talking that talk, Coach.
The fact that we watched that play just now, in not just that he did it, he's done it multiple times. He did it last year against TCU, did it last year against CSU, and then did it again. But this one was different to me than any of those, because that was rain. And I'm not even leaning into the Bianchi discussion. As a quarterback, to have a Hail Mary that wasn't just a throw in the middle of a bunch of population, like that was a real throw to a single receiver rolling to his left. With a soaking wet ball.
Yes.
After having played an entire game
Yeah.
with zero pass protection. He was assaulted. On that very drive, he was assaulted, sacked twice.
Yeah.
And to be able to do that, I'm telling you, I've never seen this before from a quarterback in my entire life. And I mean that. I've never seen it.
And the odds, Coach.
The odds,
because
man.
Two in a
Baylor
row.
makes that-
Two Hail Marys in a row, really, if you want to talk about it.
Even before that, Baylor's got a field goal to ice the damn game. The game's over. The game's over when they sack Shedeur and the ball pops loose and he ends up on top of it. The game was over 4 or 5 times, but it wasn't over. It wasn't over to the end of overtime. Unbelievable.
This whole Folsom Magic thing that I know has been going on for way before I was anywhere near the program, but I knew about it in the 90s, knew about it in early 2000s. This edition of Folsom Magic that just seems to keep coming up with Coach Prime here. A lot of people are talking about the magic of Coach Prime. I could not agree more, but the real magic of Coach Prime is his son, man. That dude he is something. And as a connoisseur of the quarterback position, as somebody that has reserved judgment on Shedeur Sanders as the number 1 overall pick or not, or the number 1 quarterback drafted or not, that game last night, it completely sealed it for me. He is the number 1 quarterback that's going to be drafted, period.
Well,
Why is that? Because games are won and lost in the National Football League, a majority of them. We watched one today where the Broncos dominated, but they're won in the very end. And some guys just have it. He's really got it.
Yeah. You don't win that game or have a chance to come back in that game unless your quarterback believes first. He's got to believe first, and he's got to do most of the work. But now without the help of the best all-purpose player and the Heisman Trophy winner in college football, who, as his luck would have it, he puts his helmet on the ball to seal the deal there in overtime. Travis Hunter, I have no more words. He makes plays. He makes plays on offense. He makes plays on defense. He makes plays in every facet of the game. That dude is a witch.
Here it is. Play it one more time. One more time. Are you kidding me? The ball almost hit my kid's feet when it came out. You kind of see from that angle how ridiculous that play.
Well, I'm gonna ask a dumb question, Coach, and this comes from a very. I mean, listen, I played a little running back in high school, and that's all I can tell you. Why is that running back with the right side of the field wide open? Go back and look at it, wide open. Why is he trying to run over a dude? All you have to do is run to your right, and you win the game. Why is he trying to run over Travis Hunter there? Why?
Pride.
What's
That's
the point?
because he saw number 12 and he wanted to put an exclamation point on the touchdown. He run through another man's face. And that's why Travis Hunter is the best football player that I've seen in college football, because he is the guy that can do everything on a football field. And the biggest question about him has been size, durability, because he's a thinner athlete, and his willingness to be a physical football player. And he proved that he can do that too. And he did it in the biggest of moments.
Vic, you are so right. He just needs to spin.
Just slide to your right, and you win the game.
Well, you don't win the game. They were up by a touchdown, the extra point, whatever. Be careful there. But you certainly, the game's not over. And I think Baylor did see you a favor because, they won the toss. Well, I don't know if they did him a favor, but it avoided Prime looking like an idiot taking the ball first in overtime because he believes in his kid. I mean, math. But okay, fine, whatever. No. This play, in my opinion, won Travis Hunter the Heisman. Why? He's going to catch 100 yards per game. I mean, duh. It's going to happen. That's not even going to be that big of a deal. And there'll be touchdowns that come along with it. But in a Heisman campaign where the last player with a less than 500 record, and I'm not saying a 3-1 team is going to have a less than 500, but was 1956 or something, Paul Hornung, who was a two-way player. That's the last time a real two-way player actually won the Heisman, and did so with a sub-500 record. But you needed a signature play. You needed a signature play that you can say, well, this is why not only does this guy play a million plays a game, plays both ways, but he does this. And that was the moment, I believe, that won the Heisman for Travis Hunter.
And not that he just did that, but he did it actually in extra additional time.
It meant something. It meant
every
something.
Single play. Like that, like who does that? The guy is one of one. And that's, I can't think of another player in the history of this sport that you could even say, if given the opportunity, could do this.
Heisman, Vic?
Absolutely.
Vic?
I obviously it's September still, and he is my Heisman in my eyes, but I want you to understand something. Off a dramatic win, the most entertaining game I've seen this season. The Buffs are going to Central Florida next week, and help me understand this. They are 2 touchdown underdogs. 2 touchdown underdogs at Central Florida. Explain that one to me, Coach.
Well, the only way you could beat CU is to beat him convincingly. That's it. Because if you're within one possession and number 2 gets the football, you're going to see what happened last night. That's who this team is. They are a flawed team, Vic. You saw it with the special teams. I think lost in all the, the pandemonium of the ending of the game. Special teams, like that was one of the worst kickoff coverage plays that I've seen in terms of just everybody wadded up and there's no spatial understanding. I mean, Shedeur, he's proven that he can take a beating, but I mean, at what point are like Baylor going to finish all those sacks? Is that going to be UCF? I don't know. They're a flawed team, and to beat them, you got to beat them by probably 14. That's because otherwise, if you keep it close, CU is going to beat you.
Okay, guys, whatever the Broncos have to do to get Travis Hunter, I'm a fan. Well, they'd have to lose some games. Where's your confidence level? The Broncos are about to win more games this year than you originally thought.
When you see them go on the road and beat a team they're not supposed to beat, not only beat them, let's be honest. Let's be perfectly clear here. They beat the shit out of Tampa today. I mean, they didn't just beat them. This was like last year when they had that 5-game win streak. There were a couple of games you're like, all right, the defense made some plays or some. They beat them in every facet today. That was a butt whooping. So they showed me something. They showed me that they can do some things, and this young quarterback has confidence. Now, do I think they can do this every week? No. But they can do it. And if they can do it, show me now. How many times can you do it? Yeah, of course my prediction changes. Of course my confidence changes. It should. Every Bronco fan should have a change in confidence after that.
For me, it's going to be the New York Jets game. That's going to tell me exactly where this thing could be headed. I think we'd never know in an NFL season because they're so long. I mean, even after the Jets game, you have 13 games to play. But that game's going to tell me a lot because I think the defensive matchup for the Broncos offense is going to be tougher. I think the Vita Vea being out, Antoine Winfield Jr. being out, that is a reality of the situation. But the Broncos, they had their day. I think we all should celebrate this day and see that there is a lot of hope, at least for today, for the future of this Broncos franchise. You go to New York and you lay an egg, you're back to square one, fellas. I mean, you are. And if New York makes Bo Nix look like he did in the first 2 games, their defense, then you're back to square one. But I don't think that's gonna be the case because confidence, man, breeds confidence. And that was a big day for the Broncos and the entire franchise.
What a fun show, guys. That went fast, man. That was a fast show and more to talk about with Vic. On with Moj and Brett. Is everybody back, Vic, on Monday?
I don't think Mosier's here. I haven't seen. I think Mosier's. He went
he went to Parents Weekend in Cincinnati.
Oh, they had a
That's
big
where he
win.
is.
They got a big win. The Bearcats, 33-0 over.
Yeah,
Houston.
he sent me video of some hillbilly band in some bar in Kentucky where he was staying, and he has a good time no matter where he goes. So, all right, well, whatever. I mean, plenty to talk about with you and Brett. Coach, when are you? I'm always confused when you're on. I don't really. Tomorrow, maybe?
Yeah. I don't have a badge to get into the building. So I just show up in the morning and sometimes they let me in, sometimes they don't. But yeah, I'll be on tomorrow morning live on 9 News. And we'll be breaking down all the Broncos. So it's going to be a great morning.
My God, the media whore continues to work the room. Holy crap.
How is this guy on 9 News Mondays and Channel 4 on Thursdays? How does that work?
Just an independent contractor, man. Just out here for any opportunity I can get.
All right. Well, we got plenty to talk about. And, hey, man, what a great weekend for football in Colorado. Colorado State, Jay Norvell. Congratulations. You won a game. I bet there weren't problems getting media credentialed for that game, as it looked like friends and family against UTEP. But we love you. Wyoming, you got some problems. And by the way, the Rockies, man, way to Rocky it up. Just when we thought you were going to sweep the Dodgers, no, Shohei comes up in the bottom of the 9th. Bam, home run, ties it. Let's throw a gopher ball to Mookie Betts, although it was 101 miles an hour, and he turned on it. I mean, if you can throw a gopher ball at 101 miles an hour, that's just how good these hitters are these days. So the Rockies do the Rockies thing, and they chase 100. We'll see how that goes. And Shohei is, I don't know what to say, man. I mean, we are witnessing absolute greatness. I think he's at 53, 55, 53 home runs, 55
You know what
bases.
Shohei is? Shohei is Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter
yeah.
is Shohei Ohtani.
Yep. That is a great
it's I want to say more impressive Shohei or Travis, but we don't have time. But that's a topic. You can talk about it.
That'll be available to watch and consume 9 to 3 or noon to 3 tomorrow.
Well, we got you covered basically from 7 a.m. and Brett said all the way till 3. I mean, between the 3 of us, we more or less got you covered the vast majority of the day. So there's that. And we appreciate everybody watching. Final words, Vic?
I've got no final words, but this. Today was a day where I actually enjoyed watching a Broncos game.
How about that?
And it's not just, there have been wins where you watch a win and you're like, yeah, whatever. But I enjoyed the game. I enjoyed the offense. It was entertaining. And that's why we watch sports. You watch to be entertained. Thank you, Sean Payton. Bo Nix, you entertained me today.
Mike?
In a world of being a coach, it was always reminded to me after a win, you got to celebrate all victories. This is a time where, as a Broncos fan, as a state of Colorado football fan, you've got to celebrate this weekend. This was an unbelievable football weekend, and there have been some really tough ones over the course of the last decade across the Buffs, the Rams, and certainly the Broncos. Great football weekend. Let's keep it rolling.
As great as it was, the Buffs know they got lucky. The Broncos did not, but I'll take it. Guys, we'll